Hello, welcome back to the Civilization series. This episode has been organized because, I decided that it was too hard to come up with stuff, so I actually have stuff to come up with. Anyways, so, as people decide that they want to go north, yeah, that's what they do. They say, I'm going to go north. This land looks pretty good, and everyone else is fighting over the north. We may as well. And these people say, hey, that, too, sounds like a very great idea. So, they go up here, and this guy, they reach the tip of the land, and they bridge out over there. These people go over here, but neither of them are happy with the land they have. So, they decide to make an agreement over who gets what land. So, they agree to have this go out here, and they get the tip. They don't get the tip. The yellows get this land, they get this. And these guys get all of this out here that they want, because they just want land. The yellows want actually valuable land. But then, because the yellows also sort of want this, and these guys are fine with having a port city, but while the meeting, the, buttercream team is informed that their son, the prince of the prince, is, because, these guys have a monarchy, these guys probably have a monarchy, these guys do not have a monarchy. I don't know about anyone else. People have been switching from a democracy to that, but while they're discussing what to do with this land, which these guys want, but it's easier for these guys, the prince apparently goes missing. So, wrong color. They rush out of the room to try to find what happened to their beloved son, and because of that, this area of land is left as a disputed territory. The yellow says that as the buttercream leader left, that the yellow should obviously be the leader, but the buttercream team says that is unfair, and that they should at least do a deal, or that they should control it. So the yellows both govern over the territory, but they made an agreement, and the buttercream were able to convince them. So technically they own the territory, but it is mostly governed by yellows. So we have a disputed territory now, and while all that chaos is going on, the limes decide that, Chartreuse decides that they want to expand to these islands, so they sail across and begin rapidly expanding in this direction. They sort of avoid that little pokey outy bit, they just want to reach it, but there's a ton of mountains, so they just end up going along the coast, find this river, and they go along the other coast, and find the end of the island. Then they decide to claim all this land as theirs. This part of the island actually had a small population of nomads, and they all died, but the people there who were living there were like, hey, that was a pretty good civilization they got going, and we can take their buildings, but we're not letting Lime Team have this, because they were also sort of revolutionaries. So, I'm essentially coming up with an excuse for these guys formed their own country. and they do a bit of expanding this way. But they aren't able to get this because there's like a fort there, and these guys are sort of at war, but not much is really happening. And then these guys, they hear rumors of gold, so they try expanding, but the jungle is too thick. But now people are like, hey, if there's gold there, I want it. So these guys expand. But again, they're even less skilled with going through the jungle. I mean, these people are already pretty skilled. And then this team, the lime team, has too much to pay attention to, so they don't really notice it at all. And then over here, well, also these guys, they're willing to give up the land if they pay them enough. So I was thinking about that. Anyways, this team, they are getting the idea to form a new civilization. Wow, they already had that. But now, some of the people in the team actually break away from their own little civilization with a bit from the lime team. And they're like, hey everyone, we should all form a little civilization together. Doesn't that sound nice? It turns out it doesn't actually sound nice because the people over here still want to walk around all the time. They like walking. But they're being forced out of their land, the walking people. So they decide that they're going to expand all the way over here. So now there's nomads roaming here who are pretty angry. I mean, they aren't going to attack people, but they also aren't letting people through their land. These people are like fighting. A lot of people are dying. And because these people are requesting help, a lot of stuff is going through this country, which is making them mad, so yeah. Because this country was funded by the Chartreuse team. Anyways, the prince dude who sailed from this city ends up landing on this island, and he takes the island, but he doesn't know where he is because he never studied geography. So he ends up trying to sail off, but then he gets stuck on this little point, and he's like, hey, there's an island here? Since when was that a thing? And he keeps exploring, and he sees the land on the other side, and he says, wow, this is a big continent, but then, after discovering all of that and claiming it as his own, all the people over there die, and he has to flee back to this island. It just happens that he actually lands on the island again. And I mean, he fled because he didn't actually like the leader, but the leader liked him somewhat. He's just sitting on that island now. And now, after all the chaos, it's time to give people some capitals. Yay, so these people put their capital on the spot where he landed, right there. These people put their capital. They actually have two capitals. One right there, and another one right there. That one's like the capital, and that one's the other capital. Yeah, they have two capitals. That's cool. And this country just plops it right in the center so that everyone can reach them easily, and it's all centralized. Eventually that becomes a bad thing. Oh my goodness, cause yeah, but at this point, you really want everyone to capitalificate. So yeah, also these people are very similar colors. In fact, everyone created in this episode was pretty similar colors. And there's an island in the middle of the ocean. Bonk. Anyways, also they discover a new thing here. Some more stuff. But these guys are pretty angry. And also, these rivers, they don't have shells. They are pretty angry because they can't manufacture any money and actually have a lesser economy because everyone gets here and then they stay there. They don't trade into that. So these people are pretty angry that they're not getting any income. And they're trying to sell stuff, but everyone ends up taking it and selling it for more money everywhere. It's just, they're pretty angry. They have a good source of income, but no one cares. They are very angry. Anyways, that'll do it for this. This was actually probably a pretty short amount of time. Like, these would be, 30 years. The end.